Let's get back to our top story on the ministerial nominees and their portfolios. Mr. ONYEKPERE, a lawyer and lead director, Center for Social Justice, joins me now on the news at 10. Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
How do you react to the portfolios finally assigned to the list of ministers? Any surprises?
Well, it is one of hope and one of hoping against what appears to be the antecedents of these men and women that we appointed. There was plenty of surprises, and we are expecting that key performance indicators will be set for them, and Nigerians will be appraised of it and begin to hold them accountable from day one, because we are in a very precarious situation.
When you say surprises, how many for you?
So many of them. You had Adela Alake, who is always about information and strategy, manning solid minerals. Maybe the president wants to get the resources from the solid minerals into the federation account. And of course, you had a Festus Keyamo coming into aviation, when all we knew about him was his lawyering role, and of course his propaganda in the APC machinery for the 2023 elections. I mean, there are so many of them that you could just mention the portfolios that were assigned to them.
When you look at the critical sectors, take, for example, the economy, of course, there's also security, perhaps social welfare. Are you happy with the men and women assigned?
Yes, the coordinating minister of the economy looks to be well positioned for the duties set aside for him. But when you look at the Minister of Budget and National Planning, you'll be wondering where that's coming from. You could have had a John Eno, who was made the Minister for Sports or for Youth or whatever, coming in there because of his experience and capacity and background from the National Assembly days in appropriation. And of course, you had an Ali Party, who is now in charge of health and social welfare, which is quite a good one for him because of his antecedents, where he's coming from, and the fact that he abandoned an international job to come into that area. So Nigerians are looking forward to improvements in the health indicators in Nigeria. And of course, another challenge is that the Minister of Petroleum Resources, all we have are ministers of state. And it's like the president is reserving that portfolio for himself. We, judging from the experience of the previous Buhari's years, we're in trouble with that, because it's easy to call ministers to order rather than calling a president to a sitting president to order, because of the nature of the position he holds. Any attempt to criticize him will be looking at as if to say is more or less like treason. So we have more able and competent men and women ready and willing to take up that assignment, who should have been left to run the petroleum ministry full-time basis instead of leaving the main portfolio for the president. And of course, quite a number of other issues. Well, Wike did well in brick and mortar in Rivers State, but he has to come down from his high horse, as governors want to do. The kind of things they were doing in their states, he has to come down to communicate and talk with the people. Same with Dave Umahi, who is now the Minister of Works, who also needs to relate with people and do things in the normal way. And of course, in the Ministry of Defense, we need critical and key indicators that these people should be asked to bring down the insurgency, bring down the loss of lives and property, secure Nigeria so that investors can come over the short, medium, and long term. So these are the expectations in these key areas.
I know there have also been expectations about having ministers of state and then having ministers as well on the other hand. But, you know, this list has also shown someone like Dr. Ali Pate, coordinating minister of health and social welfare. And, you know, also another, we have Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. And seeing as you're also in the legal profession, what do you make of those portfolio positions?
Well, I've already talked about the Minister of Health and Social Welfare. To the Minister, Attorney General, a very good and brilliant lawyer. But what we need now are reform-minded lawyers. I have not been able to associate him with any reform movement, but I expect he's a man of ethics at the bar, and he should be able to use his good office to be able to move the justice sector forward. And like I did say, we need to get to a position where we define key performance indicators known to all Nigerians so that it wouldn't be only Mr. President who is assessing their performance. All Nigerians should be able to have a say in how well they performed and contribute to the decision of whether we are to retain them or we are to ask them to go. Maybe in the next 6 months or 1 year, we review their performance again and see how well they have done.
All right, we'd like to thank you, Mr. ONYEKPERE, lead for Center Reform Justice. Many thanks for joining me on the news at 10 tonight.
My pleasure.